Hello, Algebra 1 students. We are in week 4 of function booklets, linear equations and sequences. We are in tier 3, lesson 2, solving two variable multi-step equations. So let's check off our booklet. Here we are in lesson 2 of tier 3. As you've seen in this booklet, variables don't always have to be x and y, okay? So just don't freak out if you see different things besides x and y. It's still a variable. It still stands for some type of real number. So don't freak out about it. All right, so let's take a look here at some examples. Use some of the skills we've picked up in this booklet. Let me draw my balancing point here. And here I'm going to solve for k. Well, the first thing I want to do is get k by itself. To get k by itself, I want to subtract the n on the side with the k. So these n's cancel. And then over here I have 3n minus 4 minus n. Well, if I subtract an n from that 3n, I just get 2n. And then that minus 4, like earlier, just kind of chills by itself. And then I have k over here left. So if I wanted to write that a little cleaner, if I solve for k equals 2n minus 4. Next example, I want to solve for a. Again, I want to draw my balancing point. This one's a little trickier. This one's going to take a few steps, okay? So stick with me on this, all right? Because I got to do a couple little weird things here to kind of get this to work out. So the first thing I want to do is I want to subtract 2 from both sides of the equation, all right? Because I want to get this a with this dividend kind of ice. So that's going to cancel out these 2's, and that's going to give me a over 4. On that side, and on this side, I'm going to have b minus a minus 2. Not a big deal. I'm going to shrink that down a little bit. Now I can get this a on the left by itself by multiplying by 4. Don't get fooled by this little trick that you got to do. You got to remember to distribute. So when you multiply this side by 4, you're multiplying the entire side, not just one or two numbers. This entire side is going to get multiplied by 4, okay? I'm going to shrink that down. Now that I have that entire side multiplied by 4, then these 4's now cancel, and I just have an a left on that side. And then over here, I'm going to distribute this 4 into every term inside of the parentheses. That's what the distributive property tells us to do. So that's going to give me 4b minus 4a minus 4 times negative 2, which is 8, or negative 8, or minus 8, however you want to look at it there. But this is what we get when we distribute that 4. It's this expression on this side right here. Now what we can do, add 4a to both sides, right? Because it's a balancing point again. If you do it to one side, got to do it to the other. So if I do that, I'm left with 5a's over here, and then over here, these cancel, and I'm just left with, on this side, I'm left with 4b minus 8. Well, I'm still not down to a, so I got to divide this side by 5, and this side by 5. And when I do that, these 5's cancel, and now on this side I have a equals, and then over here I have this just big old mess, which is 4b minus 8 all divided by 5. And that would be my solution. All right, let's do the last one together real quick. All right, let me draw my balancing point, and I'm going to solve for p. So the first thing I want to do when I'm solving for p here is I want to combine my like terms. So I want to combine this guy and this guy. All right, 4p plus 2p gives me 6p plus 6 on this side. And then over here, I still just have my c. Well, now I can subtract 6 here, subtract 6 here. That's going to get rid of those 6's. That's going to leave me 6p on this side, and it's going to give me c minus 6 on that side. Now I want to divide by 6. Divide by 6. That cancels, and I'm left with p equals c minus 6 over 6. Another way to write this, if you want to get real fancy, would be p equals c over 6 minus 1, because you could break this 6 out to both of these terms, and then 6 over 6 is just 1, and c over 6 is c over 6. But I would just like you to leave it, to be quite honest, just leave it in this form right here, and that is a-okay. Good luck on your practice sets.